is going on? Welcome to episode 40 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Player 2 is Hate Zero. What's up, man?
How's it going? So first of all, I'd like to say what up, NPC fam. Glad you're all here with us live, and I've got a special announcement. Everyone go ahead and sing me happy birthday, because today is my birthday, and I'm coming live on my birthday for you, for the people.
That's right. I think we talked about this. I'm a terrible friend. We're not Facebook friends, so I wouldn't know what your birthday is. I also don't look on Facebook, so I'm really sorry.
I don't have a Facebook, so it's all good.
There you go. Well, happy birthday, man. I hope your wife's not upset that you're not having dinner with her on your birthday and that you're doing this.
She's used to it.
She's used to you skipping birthdays for content.
Yup.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm in trouble.
Oh boy.
I'm in trouble. So, let's see. If you guys would like to get yourself a audiobook from Audible, you can go to audibletrial.com/NPC and pick one book from like 30,000 books. There's so many. So go check it out. You get a free book. You help support this show. That's audibletrial.com/NPC. Also, if you want to get yourself a sweet, affordable, comfortable gaming chair, go to opseat.com. Use coupon code N64Josh and save yourself $10 there. They just launched a new line of chairs, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That's opseat.com. Coupon code N64Josh. So we do this live, twitch.tv/N64Josh, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, when we don't have technical difficulties. There was a few tonight, but you know what? We got through, we persevered, and all is well now. So everybody that's here with us, Kirby Geek, K-Cross, Destinaut, thank you guys for being here. Anybody that's just lurking, we appreciate you. And we got a whole lot of Nintendo stuff to talk about. So, but first, I think I just got to go, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, 80. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks. I don't even know what to say. There's no coming back from this. Not sure what to do with my hands anymore. Just gonna stream like this. So, up first, what have you been playing, buddy?
Oh my gosh. I've been playing a lot, dude. Probably some of the most fun I've had in a long time on the Switch was playing Mario Kart last night with viewers while I was streaming. Destinaut jumped in, Kirby Geek, LSD was in there for a little bit, Scrap Gear. I think that was it. And man, it was so much fun just playing against people in the community, and I really had a blast. I of course got some time with Golf Story and Stardew Valley, and a little bit of Samus Return still, just kind of slowly going through that. So I've been busy. A little bit of that Inverses, played some more of that. Yeah. So as far as like pickups go, there's some really obscure titles coming out this week, and I think I got that Tahau Kabuto V Burst Battle, I guess. I don't even know what it is or how to say the name, but it's on its way from Amazon. So
okay, cool.
And then there's the Tiny Barbarian, and there's one we don't even have in our list called like, I can't remember. It looks like Solomon or Soul Down. I can't remember. It's a puzzle game from the 90s, I guess, but it's a physical release. And so yeah, that and Tiny Barbarian. I picked up the limited edition of Retro City Rampage as well.
Did you? So now you have it twice.
I do. I won't open this one though, because I got the collector's edition. So
very nice.
And then we both picked up the well, I'll let you go ahead and tell them what you got for the first time.
Well, I got Stardew Valley. I think we should do a quick little pause on that.
Okay, let's do that.
And we'll get into our reviews of it a little bit later, but that game is stupid in the best way possible. Like I was like, it's farming. I don't even like farming IRL. Like, I don't care about any of this. I'm not going to go water plants in real life. I spend every morning in the game, I wake up 6 o'clock like you're supposed to, and I go and water my plants till 10 a frickin' clock. So it's a long time before I can start my day. But no, that game's fantastic. We got a review copy of Earth Atlantis, which hopefully you got a little bit of time in we can talk about, or maybe give it a review on.
Yep.
I did play it, not a ton, but I did something a little unexpected.
I'm excited.
I did something unexpected. I bought 2 amiibo.
You did?
I did it. I did. The Goomba and the Koopa Troopa. I couldn't help it. I saw them in the store. And they looked so lonely, and they were the only ones, and they're so good looking. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. Let's do it.
Did you free them from their packaging?
Not yet. I'm still on the fence. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of torn. The inner Josh inside me, that sounds weird. I'll never say that again.
Please don't.
The collector in me doesn't want me to open it, but the realist is like, okay, well, if I open them, they're so much smaller and easier to handle. The boxes don't take up space. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked. My Best Buy had two of each, so, and that was. Other than that, I haven't really seen them in the wild much, so I don't know if there's a whole lot of them out there.
Well, I think you kind of nailed it the other day when I asked you if I should pick them up. You said they're kind of insignificant characters, so they're probably not a huge production run on them. And that was kind of what sold it for me. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not into reselling, but maybe I'll grab these. They look cool. So
that whole series, the Super Mario series, Boo is one of them, and he glows in the dark.
Really?
Yeah. It's super cool. It's super cool. So I didn't have it put away for a little while, and I remember like coming into my office, and it's just sitting there glowing like bright green. I'm like, what is happening right now? So, I immediately ran for my vacuum, but I realized it was just a false alarm. So we were good.
Was that a Luigi's Mansion reference?
It was a stretch, but I was trying. I was trying.
I liked it.
Cool.
No worries.
Cool. So any other pickups or anything that you've been playing?
That's pretty much it. I honestly, Stardew has its hooks in me. Like, I intended to play the Battlefront beta, never did. I downloaded it, I turned it on, like I tried to join a match and it failed. And I was like, I'll just play Stardew. And I never actually played the beta. Gotcha.
I did play that. It's really good. And I played Cuphead more too, a little bit. So, and a little bit of Destiny. I've been mixing it up pretty good. So
good.
Yeah.
Keep you well-rounded.
That's right. So shall we jump into this week's releases?
Let's do it.
You want to just
rapid fire?
Just rapid fire that thing.
Okay. October 10th, today, my birthday, we've got Tohu Kabuto 5 or V Burst Battle, Tiny Barbarian DX, 88 Heroes, 98 Heroes Edition. That's kind of interesting. Tomorrow, we've got Unboxed Newbie's Adventure. October 12th, we've got The Flame and the Flood, Yono and the Celestial Elephants, Super Beat Sports, Neon Chrome.
That's that's quite the list.
Again, quite the list again. So I'm casually excited for The Flame and the Flood and Super Beat Sports. How about you from that list?
Honestly, man, I don't even remember. Like, were some of these shown on the Nindies?
Super Beat Sports was. I don't think The Flame and the Flood was mentioned, but it's been a Steam game. My buddy was telling me about it, and I watched the video, and it's kind of a survival style game where you build a raft and you have to like move from point to point and upgrade your raft, and it looks really cool.
Huh,
It
interesting.
looks really cool.
Interesting. Chat says, what about Assassin's Creed Origins on the 26th?
Yeah,
that's a week or two out. So here's the other one, dude, is Soul, I guess it's Soldam is how you say it. Drop, connect, erase. It's a puzzle game. That's the one I was talking. That's the physical release, and it's $40. I'm looking at it on Amazon right now. So,
and that's Friday.
No, it's out. Came out today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It came out. I literally think there's so many games that I don't even know if you can find like full lists online that show everything that's on them. You know what I mean? Like that's coming out. It just. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And it's hard. So like this week's list that I threw together, this is only a North American list. The European and Japanese lists or Europe, Asia lists are different. And I don't know if we need to account for that as well, but regardless, it's getting out of hand. The games are getting out of hand. And keep it up. It's a good problem.
Yeah, and I mean, were we chatting about it in our Discord or whatever? Like it's awesome. I think who was I talking? Oh, I know who I was on my video. I just put out a video talking about the Switch's library versus the Wii U's, and Matt from Hello Nintendo commented on the video and was like, "I'm loving this riding this wave of all these games, but are we on the verge of oversaturation?" You know, and we kind of hit on that too. And like, there's two things I think that are worth noting. The indies need to do their part to market their game, not just wait around for Nintendo to do something about it. But Nintendo needs to make that eShop better. You know, we hit on it somewhat last week too. Like, there's got to be a better filter system, and now that there's so many games to run through the entire list of all is, I don't think people are going to be doing it.
No, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's completely disorganized. So if you miss a week on the eShop and you try to check next week's, let's say we don't look at it all this week, you're never going to find some of these games that came out because they're going to get buried in the other 20 games that are launching every week. So
exactly. So hopefully there's going to be, I mean, you know, the Wii U eShop, they did a great job of separating that out into like Nintendo games, NES games, Super Nintendo games, so on and so forth. And so, and they'd also kind of run like specials and that kind of stuff. And so hopefully we'll start seeing some, I mean, for the sake of the developers, hopefully there's some sales and things like that in the near future that are like, hey, these 6 games are all 25% off or something like that, just so they can, you know, push a few more sales and get some more revenue for those developers.
Yeah. Well, I've got ideas of how they could fix it, but I don't know if it matters. They need to have an indies section. They need to have like a third-party section. You can call it an indies. I'll concede for this. So you have your nindies section, right? And then also they need to have a weekly showcase game, like a spotlight that you know, they take the best game, put it forward. You can argue that that's not always the best idea because then people can pay for that ad space essentially. But I think they need to focus because there's a difference between an indie title and FIFA or NBA 2K18 or Mario Rabbids, right? So maybe it's just in the price, but they need to take the indies and put them in their own little area so we can find them easily.
Yeah, having them separated out would be huge. It would be really nice. So, you want to jump into the news?
Let's do it.
Nintendo World Championship. What was it, like 4 hours of video games that day?
Yeah. Yeah, it was, and we had no warning going into it. So when I started watching, I was like, "Oh, it'll probably be like 2 hours long or something." I quickly realized that was not going to be true. So,
I mean, what? Give me just your overall impression of the Nintendo World Championships. I mean, is this the first one that you've seen? Did you see the one from back in the 90s? Did you see 2015?
I saw them when I was whenever they were in the 90s, but I don't really remember them that well. So I didn't watch all of 2015. I just watched the highlights of it. So I will say I feel like the event did a great job of keeping it moving. There were some dull moments, and kind of what Destinot's saying. Reason we don't need to see everything live. I get that, but they did a good job trying to transition it. They did a good job keeping it going. So I think all in all, it was a good event. It was fun. There were a couple of games that just didn't like. They were playing Mario Party, and you could tell that the players were playing to not lose. They weren't playing to win. They were all playing to not lose. Because what's that rollerball game, that mini game they were playing?
Oh, the Mario Party one.
Yeah. And they're all just kind of like dancing around each other. No one wants to make that big, bold move and try to, bumper balls. Thanks, Kirby. So nobody wanted to try to make the big, bold move to knock out any other players. So we just watched them kind of dance around for 15 minutes. So that was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and what was interesting is like the announcers were having to like bounce around between like just like chatting with each other and hey, we're going live. So like they would ask a question and then they're like, and now back to the games. You know, it was just like they were I thought they did a really good job, even though they kind of had to struggle through it. You know, it was they did a lot of it on the fly, and I think they did all right.
No, I think they did. And doing a live event in any capacity is probably extremely difficult. I mean, heck, just hosting shows like this can be very difficult live. So to be able to do that for 4 hours, the main guy, Jordan Kent, I don't think he took a break outside of when they were playing games. And even then he was commentating. So he did phenomenal. Kudos to him. I think that's his name, right? I didn't screw up his name after giving him kudos, I hope. I'm
happy that you know his name because I don't.
Okay.
I only know Audrey from IGN.
So Jordan Kent is also a Trailblazers announcer of sorts. He doesn't do the main broadcast, but he does a lot of voiceover work. So he's a professional at this. But yeah, you could tell there were some rough moments, and that was fine. I didn't mind it at all. The length is what I think they need to work on.
Yeah, it seemed like the kind of thing that maybe not doing it live would have been a little better. Like just an hour long highlight kind of thing, maybe. I don't know.
What I would have preferred them do, and you can disagree. Play some of the qualifying rounds, not live. You know, still at the big ballroom, live for the people there. But then, you know, tune in after we've eliminated maybe 12 people or something. So then you're down to a 2-hour show. Yeah,
they even could have like, you know how they did like the 8-player Smash, right? Yep. And then I believe they swapped out and another 8 players went in. They could have just had that going at the same time and shown both screens. You know, I mean, it would have been a like sensory overload for us, but it would have moved the show along like much quicker.
No, you're right. And didn't they do that with Splatoon as well? Or no, it was just 2 teams in Splatoon playing. There was another game where they had to do half of the group and then the other half came in.
I know they did it for sure with Samus. With Samus Returns.
Okay.
You know, they had like 8 screens and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they need a bigger space, and that takes a lot more. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the logistics of all of it, but just as far as time for us viewing it, like that was a long. I mean, thankfully I had the stream on. We were all chatting, and I was still writing up reviews for like Golf Story and stuff. Yeah. So I was still able to get some work done while we were watching. But I love the fact that Nintendo's back and that they're doing this kind of stuff. The beginning of this World Championship felt very strange. That Mario Kart 7 was the game that got you into the qualifiers, and then, or that got you into the finals, and then all of the games that they played. Well, it was a good mix, but it was to me, it just seemed like Mario Kart 7 is a little bit dated. And so it was, I think we kind of came to the conclusion that it was more of a marketing ploy to sell more 2DSs just so that people would be practicing to be able to get in there. But I feel like another game, like doing a Mario Maker or doing even a Mario Kart 8 run would have been just a game with less glitches, I guess, would have been it would have been my preference for sure, especially as vast as the variety of games were that we saw during the championship.
I assume that they went with Mario Kart 7 more because not so much to sell the 2DS XL, but that was probably an added bonus, but they were probably doing it, and we're being cynical. They were probably doing it to help everyone out because they know that a ton of people have 3DSs, and Mario Kart 7 is already in a ton of people's hands, where Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U had a small window of people. Sure. And the Switch is still hard for everyone to get their hands on. So now if you've never played the Switch or Mario Kart 8, you're kind of bummed that you didn't have a fighting chance going into it. That's my guess. I could be way off base.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just strange, like walking into Best Buy and seeing all of the giant boards of Mario Kart 7. It was like, this game's like 3 or 4 years old, so it was like stepping back in time almost. But all in all, I'm glad they're doing it. I hope they keep refining it. I have a video on my YouTube channel kind of going into a little more detail of what I thought about it and whatnot, so you guys can check that out if you want. And yeah, all in all, I'm glad it's back, and I hope they do it every year or every other year. I hope it keeps going.
Yeah, I think the last 2 rounds were a lot of fun. The Mario Maker round, no, maybe the last 3 rounds. The Mario Maker round was really fun. That 2015 winner, I forget his name. He's ridiculously good. He's better at that than I am in any aspect of life.
Numbers? Wasn't that his last name? Numbers?
Tim Ken something Numbers. John Numbers? Is John Numbers?
I think it was John, but I don't remember.
I think it's John Numbers. So John Numbers is phenomenal. And then they played the Mario Luigi. I forget what the head-to-head one was. That was fun.
On Super Mario Brothers Deluxe on the Game Boy Color.
Yeah. That was really fun to watch as well. And then the final mode being Mario Odyssey, that they never got to play. They just had to figure out and kind of show off their adaptability. And those 3 alone were a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah.
All in all, we should say congratulations to Thomas G. He's the new Nintendo World Champion.
Congrats, dude. I hope you're listening. Let us know if you are.
Definitely. He's definitely listening. Okay. And also, I would say this event for me was a red shell. It was good, but there's room for improvement.
For sure. Well, a couple other news articles, or I don't even know if articles is the right term, but yeah, it was article. I saw it today. The developer of Braid and The Witness, which I know his first name is Jonathan, I believe. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head. He said that it's very possible that Braid and The Witness can both be on the Switch, but he's just in no hurry to to get them there, which kind of bummed me out because I think Braid is one of my favorite side scrollers. Like, it is an
Braid from 2008.
It's old, man. It's old, right?
Okay.
The one that was on 360.
Yeah.
Did you play through that?
No, because I shipped to basic training around the time it came, so I just completely missed it.
Oh, see, you would seriously be in for a treat if this game hits the Switch. It's very much like Mario. It even looks like there's Goombas in it, but there's a rewind factor that happens. So if you if you're gonna die or whatever, you can rewind out of it. But just the story is so deep and actually moving for just a side-scrolling game. He did a really great job with it, and I haven't even touched The Witness, so I'd like to see both these get on the Switch sooner than later.
Yeah, I think I played the demo for Braid. I believe there was a demo on 360, and it seems even today it would be a perfect game. Like, the art style would stand up today because it never was a crazy graphic game. It was just a nice art style. So I think it would hold up today, and it's a perfect game for the Switch.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's get into our reviews, man. Stardew Valley.
Do it.
You want to start this one off?
Oh man. Yeah. So if you ask me any one thing about this game that is good, I don't really have an answer. I think it looks okay. I don't think the graphics are amazing. Like, for me, I think Golf Story is prettier than Stardew Valley. The story is there. It's not the best story I've ever played. The gameplay is solid. It works. Not the best gameplay I've ever played. The combat is there, and honestly, it's not very good combat system, but I'm enjoying it. So what is happening with this game? So here's, long story short, the game's a freaking blue shell, and I don't know why. I don't know why. So there's not a single thing I can point to. It's just like, I don't know. I can't put it down. It's just one more day. That's every time I play, I'm like, all right, I'll just put one more day in. Just one more day. And then I go to bed and I'm like, oh, well, now I got to go to get my stones broken by the blacksmith. So I can't quit today. So just one more day. Ridiculous. The game is ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, I was very, very impressed by it as well. I ended up giving it a 9 out of 10. Like, I felt like it really was doing a great job in all the areas. I felt like the one area that I would have liked to see some improvement in was the controls. I felt like that could use a little bit of tweaking, especially when it came to fishing. Like, that meter and everything can get pretty frustrating at times, but I also am under the assumption that the more you play, that it will improve as you level up and get better gear.
I've gotten boss at fishing now, except for occasionally there's like a super squirrely fish, but for the most part, I'm killing the fishing. And then once you start putting bait on there and stuff, golden. Yeah.
So I mean, gameplay, I gave it a 10 out of 10. Like, I just felt like it was a combination of Animal Crossing, Minecraft, Harvest Moon, and Zelda, and like,
that's every game ever.
Yeah, how do you do that? But and I really found the story, especially the beginning, where the guy's just in the cubicle and he's just like, I'm out. I was like, I could so relate with that, and so I want to know more about it. I want to know more about the characters. I just want to keep playing. And like I said, 9 out of 10 for me. I really think it's a great game.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. 9 out of 10. That's pretty good. So yeah, the game is not without flaws. There's an audio issue. I guess the Switch in general versus the PC or other console versions. There's an audio. I don't know if it's a glitch, but we're not getting the full audio that was intended for us to be listening to. So, like on the Switch, forever until you go to bed. In the other versions of the game, there are way more songs. You don't get the repetitive loop. There's more sounds for animals. There's more rain sounds. So supposedly that might get fixed.
Okay.
So I mean, but those don't take away, in my opinion. If no one told me that those were problems outside of that weird staticky sound that happens and requires you to close out the game, I wouldn't know those were issues.
Yeah, another issue too is the Joy-Cons don't rumble when you're playing handheld.
You're right. You are correct, because I've spent a good amount of time playing it handheld, and it doesn't. They do rumble if you're separated, though, I believe.
Correct. Yeah, because I had somebody ask me, in my review on YouTube, did the Joy-Cons do anything cool for fishing? And I was like, well, I'll check. So I was playing docked. I just pulled the Joy-Cons out, fished. They just rumbled like normal. And so I was like, oh, they rumble like normal. Then somebody else comments, I thought they didn't work at all. So I'm like, I'm so confused right now. But we got to the bottom of it. When they're in handheld mode, the HD rumble is not working.
Yeah, I did notice that, and that'll probably be patched relatively soon. But even without it, it shouldn't deter you from getting this game. There's nothing so wrong with this game that you should skip it. You need to go buy it. It's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Golf Story. Did you give a review for this last week? I don't remember.
I sure did, and guess what? It's a blue shell.
Okay.
And it's got some of the best HD rumble, in my opinion, of any of the Switch games so far.
To the point that it whistles.
Yes, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. But go ahead and let's hear your review, because you did not get to review it last week.
That is correct. So my final score for this was a 9.2 out of 10.
Beautiful.
To me, the golf is stellar. The story to me was extremely engaging. I really enjoyed it. I heard other reviewers say that the story is throwaway and they couldn't care less about it. So, again, that just is all going to boil down to opinion at that point. But stellar golf, engaging story, perfectly wrapped in a retro package. That kind of sums it up for me. I loved the classic golf controls with a modern twist that just really kind of allow you to refine your shots and get the ball exactly where you want it. And I mean, and who doesn't love throwing a billion golf balls onto a green or off of somebody's head? Like whatever you feel like doing, you can. So, I was very impressed, and I'm really glad I picked it up.
Yeah. That game, it disappoints me that people would say the story's not good. So I think compared to modern RPGs, the story is lacking. But if you look back at the Earthbounds, the old school Pokemons like Yellow, Red, Blue, they all told a story with a lot less dialogue than today. It's like now the stories are so long.
For sure.
Golf Story kind of took back that old, like, how can we tell a full story in as few of words as possible?
Yeah, Kirby Geek says the regular dialogue can be quite funny, and I totally agree. Like, I found it entertaining. Like, some parts I was laughing at. The thing is, I found myself like wanting to know more about these characters and finding out why they're the way they are, and why is your character getting treated the way he is, and what happened in that 20-year period, So
yeah,
I don't know. Sucked in, right?
Yep.
What is that guy? What is that?
I don't know. Find out. I hope to, but that's become my favorite thing to say ever since I saw it.
So let's talk Earth Atlantis.
Yes,
This game's beautiful.
it is.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But go ahead.
I'll start with the good. The game has a great art style. The controls are fairly solid.
It sounds so bleak.
I don't love the game. I'm going to be 100% honest. I didn't enjoy it that much. So it's not you don't really explore the map per se. It's a giant open map that you have to go back and forth to the same areas where new bosses exist now. So the art and stuff in the background's cool. Like I saw the Statue of Liberty. Like, oh, that's cool. And then I saw some buildings and a school bus. And then I saw the Statue of Liberty. And then I saw some buildings and a school bus. So if it's your cup of tea, if you really like Gradius, it's not even I can't even say it really compared to Gradius though, because that had like multiple levels with bosses at the end. This isn't like that at all. It's hard, which can be challenging, which can be good. I don't know. It's a green shell for me. It's a pickup if you're really interested. Otherwise, maybe just go ahead and skip this one.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If you really enjoy, like Life Force and those games from back in the day, you know what it reminded me more of was UN Squadron. Just kind of probably because it was just a little more modern, right? I didn't like love it. I wasn't like, oh, I've got to play this again. Like I enjoyed what I did play. Part of the problem, and I'll just be honest, is that there's so much like trying to review all these games and play them long enough to give a good review has been very challenging. So, the little bit that I played, I did enjoy. If that is your style of game, I think you will enjoy it. There is the carrot on the stick of like, because like you said, it was difficult, but they would tease you with what you could unlock the more you played, which would definitely make the difficulty easier. And so I'm not even going to give it a score right now. I'm going to try to play it this week, and I'll just score it and give a quick overview next week. But just guessing, I would probably say it's going to come in around like a 7 or 6.5, right around there.
It's very generous of you.
So, you liked it even less than that. So that's
yeah, I did. Go. So it's not,
but I like that style of game. So that that may be the difference.
Gradius is one of my favorite game series of all time. I played that game to death. And that's what I was kind of hoping more of this game was. So I guess there's checkpoints in it. And when you hit one of those checkpoints, you'll respawn there forever. If you hit that checkpoint and you die, you lose all of your weapons. So you have to upgrade them again. And it just, there's no story at all. So your new Earth is full of water. And now these mechanical monsters took on the form of sea life for some reason. So
didn't they know that wasn't a good movie back in the day?
So I don't know. I mean, I guess the way I look at it, and this is why I don't do numbers, because maybe the game's a 6, maybe it's 7. I don't know. But for me, with how many games there are out there that are, in my opinion, better than this, I'm just not going to go back to this probably. I might give it another shot, but I've got so many other things to play. I don't think this is going to be in the rotation.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I will try to have a little more in-depth analysis next week. So, and then we will walk away from it probably.
Can I have one more complaint about it? Just one more.
Yeah, do it.
Just last one. But the lack of any colors makes, when there's a ton of enemies and stuff, it kind of makes things difficult to see what you need to avoid and what you can collect. because everything is there's just one color. There are no colors.
Yeah. The part of me liked that style of it because it reminded me of playing a regular Game Boy game from back in the day. Yeah. But I mean, if it had color or more color, it wouldn't. I don't feel like it would take away from what it has now. You know what I mean? I think it would only improve it. Yeah. So just like the Game Boy Color did with most of those games.
Yeah. So, there's a reason we decided to move to color.
That's right. So this is exciting. You walked into Fred Meyer, the secret stash, picked up your amiibo, turned around and saw that you could grab 2 Joy-Cons and play Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, or you could get the bundle together and play that way too.
Ooh, so
because they have both.
I'm surprised you're here and not still there playing.
There was no time limit or anything, so I could probably still be there playing.
How many kids did you shove down to get to the?
Sadly, there was no one else there. I was the only
7.
kid there.
You were the only kid there.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Some kid's dad was like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah, he's like, "You gotta go." I'm like, "No, just 5 more minutes. Get out of here." So I played the Mario Odyssey demo, and I don't want to talk too much about it. I'm going to just use a lot of cool buzzwords like synergy and no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get into details. So I played maybe 10 minutes. I didn't want to play all day. I had stuff to do, but man, I didn't want to walk away either. I played with the split Joy-Con configuration, and it was a lot of fun. Well, our retro question so I'm not even going to bother with that. I didn't master any of the moves. I tried to do the hat jump. That didn't work. That didn't work for me at all. So, there's some learning it's definitely harder than Mario 64 was to just pick up and figure out how to play. There's more going on now.
Did you play New Donk City or the desert level?
The desert level is the only one playable I saw.
Okay. I wasn't sure what these demo stations had, so
yeah. It's just the desert level. I tried to avoid any of the story because I didn't want to ruin it for myself. So I just kind of ran around, played with the mechanics, jumped on some Goomba, the usual Mario stuff.
Alka-Seltzer saying get good, bro.
Yeah, okay. So Alka-Seltzer, go ahead and go into Fred Meyer and play it, and then come back next Tuesday and give us your review. Because I'm guessing you're going to say, wow, that was harder than I anticipated. Not that it's impossible. Do you even Mario, bro? That's what I was. Clearly, I don't.
I mean, my 9-year-old daughter did fine. She had no problem at all.
Well, she's got the nimble little fingers. Okay, I'm getting older. The split Joy-Cons are so tiny. What am I supposed to do?
So when you say the hat jump, are you talking about how like you throw the hat and then pull down on like a prong and then let go and it flings you up into the air? Is that what you're talking about?
No, where you can throw the hat, it spins for a second and you jump off of it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
I was trying to do that for like 4 minutes, just trying to figure out how to do that. And I couldn't figure out how to do that. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I know what you're talking about. Because like when you first said that, I'm like, but now I remember that move in the.
Did you do that move? Demos. Were you able to accomplish it?
I didn't even, I forgot it was the thing. Like I didn't even.
That was the thing I want to do most for some reason, and I couldn't figure it out. And maybe I hadn't learned it yet. Maybe Mario learns skills as he goes. I don't really know.
What do you think of this style of Mario? Like, I love what they did with this Mario and what they did with Breath of the Wild, how it's basically open world and you just go and collect moons, and it's not like you get the star and then go back to the menu and then start again. Like, you just keep going, but each of them kind of has their own little unique, like maybe a mini game or something tied to them. What'd you think of that for the little bit you played it?
I don't think there is any way this game doesn't come out and is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I think what they've done is a logical transition for Mario. They'll obviously come out with another side-scrolling Mario in the future, but for the 3D Mario, it felt perfect. Like I didn't play long, but I have absolutely zero complaints in my time with it.
Yeah, the thing that I think, you see a lot of people saying they're showing too much. I have a feeling this game is so massive that they haven't even scratched the surface. And fingers crossed, but when Super Mario Galaxy got such high reviews, it was like one of the few times that we actually got to see a sequel on the same system, because they were able just to take those assets and then create an even better game and release it. So who knows? Maybe we see a sequel to Mario Odyssey also, if it does well, Which,
well, I'll say two things. First, people are wrong. They're giving away too much, because the game is going to be huge. It's just going to be. I mean, if you look at Mario 64, with the amount of stuff we saw from Mario Odyssey, that wouldn't even have scratched the surface of Mario 64 alone. I mean, there's so many levels there. So Odyssey is going to be gigantic. I don't think it's a problem. The sequel. Geez, took me a while. I was reading Dustnot's comment. Sorry. The sequel. I think we have a good shot at seeing a sequel to this because it's coming so early in the Switch's life cycle.
That's true.
Switch will probably be around 5-6 years before Switch U or whatever comes out next. Wii Switch U, Super Switch Wii U, Wii Switch Super U. I don't know. So
maybe 2 years.
It's going to be, yeah. It's going to be 5-6 years. So coming out with Kirby Geeks, right? Switcheroo. I always forget about that one. It's going to be 5-6 years. So I think that helps us find a new Mario, a sequel, presumably.
Yeah, I wondered if we won't see a sequel in the form of DLC, which, some gamers hate, others don't really care, but
yeah, I hate it if it's a cash grab. I like DLC if it's substantial and actually adds value.
Sure.
So I guess we'll see. Nintendo hasn't been huge on putting out like cash grab DLC in my experience, so that's not something I've been worried about till you brought it up right now. But we'll see. I mean, have they announced anything for Mario? Is there a season pass? I haven't heard any of that.
No.
Okay.
Other than they've been, in my opinion, they've been pretty good with DLC, but there was a few missteps. I think Zelda was kind of a misstep for people, mainly because it was announced before the game was even out. And that just triggers some people, apparently. And then it ended up being like a shirt and a couple chests, so it was like, okay. So
and the shirt is useless. I get any armor.
But Paliner says amiibo aren't cash grabs, so that's the other thing that some people view amiibo like that. But
so can I talk about the amiibo? Do we have time for us to go down a rabbit trail?
Let's do it.
Not a huge amiibo fan. I own 3. The amiibo don't bother me as much because they're a collectible item. It's like buying a G.I. Joe. So it's not, yes, it does offer you some in-game items, but I think that's a bonus to the amiibo, not the other way around. But I think Nintendo is selling collectible toy series that also gets you real in-game items. So it doesn't bother me as much for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think for me, I was just super stoked to see Nintendo finally putting out something I would have wanted badly as a small child,
Yeah.
and so I don't use them all that much for stuff in game, but I will say there's been a few that I've bought doubles of. If I really want, Zero Suit Samus, when I saw an extra one, I was like, yeah.
I don't like that aspect that Palinar's saying. So locking content behind items you can't even get. So I never think that's a good business model. I don't like that at all. I hate when GameStop has exclusive DLC or some exclusive item for early pre-order. I don't like that either. So for cosmetic items, doesn't bother me as much because honestly, I don't ever really get into the cosmetic items anyways. I play the game as the I guess the game was intended to be played, so it doesn't bother me. But if you lock out levels or guns or something like that, then yeah, that does get a little frustrating.
I mean, I think I'm on the other side of the fence on this one because I think if you paid the money, you should be rewarded for it, and if it's like full levels or if it was games that were super thin on content, then like, yeah, don't lock it behind. But like for the most part, like you said, it's like cosmetic stuff, that kind of thing. And again, if it is something that you want bad enough, you can get them for like $3 each on Etsy for the little like token.
Well, then why not give us two choices? So for the limited run of Amiibo, you can get the DLC that way, and then once they stop producing that Amiibo, they offer it up on the eShop, and you can just hit up $15 to the eShop and get your DLC or whatever the price is. I'm
getting booed right now, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to save face for you if you just agree with what I'm saying. So
if you just agree with it. So yeah. Okay, let me back up a little bit because I there's a few different I would boo this man. Oh my gosh, they are throwing tomatoes right now. I am ducking. Yeah. Here's what I don't like. I did not like the fact that Zelda came out and there was a bunch of really cool armors and stuff locked behind Amiibo that would not be re-released, period.
Right.
At the very least, there should have been another run of all of the Zelda Smash Amiibo so that they could have been available for people that wanted them. That I don't think is they just called me the 1%.
You are.
Wow.
You're not helping.
I guess not. But so that was frustrating. That like people were spending like $500 or $600 buying full sets of Zelda Amiibo just to be able to get everything in the game. Yes, yeah. I agree. That is a problem for sure. But with Odyssey coming out, if the 3 Amiibo that are released have exclusive things and you decide not to buy it when Odyssey comes out, that doesn't you can make that choice or not, in my opinion. Because if you do it the other way, then you're saying, well, there's no reason for me to even buy these Amiibo. There's no carrot on the stick at that point.
Well, so I just bought the 2 Amiibo because they look cool, and I'm thinking of bringing them to my office and putting them on my desk. So I think my problem with the Amiibo is they're a limited run item. So if you put something substantial behind it, eventually someone's going to get burned because
there's really no way to win here, right? It's either
there is a way to win. They can make the Amiibo, make all 200 of them or however many they make, right? And then once they're done with that run, put the Amiibo up on the eShop that we can unlock the DLC. Make that DLC available to be unlocked without Amiibo after they stop the run of Amiibo.
But to purchase?
To purchase the DLC, if you want to.
You're going to get booed now.
No, the people will like this. This is fine. It's DLC at that point, so at least you can get your hands on it. You don't have to buy all of it.
Well, we made it 40 episodes before we were booed off of iTunes, so thanks, folks. It's been fun.
Yeah. I think the people will like that. Everyone likes that plan. It's a great plan.
So since we, Kirby Geek's like, they would charge full price for it, though.
Maybe, and that would be the problem, and that's where Josh will throw a fit and be like, "Well, I paid $12 for my amiibo, and now I pay $12, or someone else pays $12, or I paid $15 for my amiibo, and now they're getting the same thing for $7. How's that working?" So,
no, I wouldn't say that because I got my plastic, little collectible. So
yeah,
that's fine.
And
the problem is
for you.
I would be doubling down on all this stuff. Like they would make 50% more on every one of the amiibo I bought. We should.
Then you wouldn't have to open them.
We got to not talk about this. This is what is happening.
I think that's the only way they can really win this. People need to start looking at the amiibo more as a collectible item and less as DLC. And Nintendo included needs to look at the amiibo as more of a collectible and less DLC, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, when I think about Zelda and I think about the fact that like I would have to open up my Sheik and stuff to unlock all of the armor, I was frustrated by that. And at that time was like, man, I wish there was a way I could just unlock this.
Yeah.
Thinking about, but those weren't available to buy, right? I guess my point is with Mario Odyssey, the 3 amiibo that are releasing with it, that to me, if there was exclusive stuff behind that, there's where I wouldn't have a problem with it. But even that, I wouldn't say levels. I would just say cosmetic items because, like, look, Mario Kart, nobody really cared all that much about unlocking they didn't really have anything awesome for amiibo to unlock until Zelda. And that's when things started to become kind of an issue.
Yeah.
So maybe it needs to be it just needs to be dumber stuff. How about that?
I really think they figured out how to get it right with Mario Odyssey, in my opinion. And we don't have to go too deep into this any further if you don't want, but I like what they're doing. So I assume the old school Jumpman outfit is going to be locked behind some sort of amiibo, right? No, the older school Jumpman.
It doesn't get any older school than this.
No, the inverted colors.
Oh, well,
from Donkey Kong.
That's basically this one, right? With the blue.
No, yeah,
because he has the gray ones from Super Mario Brothers, the brown ones in Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, no, the Donkey Kong Jumpman before he was named Mario.
So blue hat.
The blue hat.
Yeah.
That's in the game. So I assume that's going to be behind.
Wait, Kirby's freaking out because she's like, that's the modern colors. But Kirby, the original Jumpman had blue coveralls and a blue hat. That's all. That's all I was getting at. That's it.
That's true. Well, Josh probably didn't finish Donkey Kong. I mean, that's for sure.
If anybody finished Donkey Kong that's listening to this, tweet at me, please.
Okay, so back on track. Back on track. So I like what they're doing because now if you buy the amiibo, you can get the items immediately. If you don't buy the amiibo, you can still get them, but I'm assuming the grind to get them is going to be crazy. Like to get that old classic Mario outfit, you're probably going to do like all moons or something ridiculous to get that. So
I really triggered Kirby. I feel bad now.
Yeah, that's my spiel. I like it. I think, and I'm gonna get the amiibo just because they look cool. But I don't really care about what they unlock, and I like that everyone can get them, the items.
Well, what's funny is I was holding up the Modern Colors for Kirby, Super Mario Bros. 30th anniversary, right? The 8-bit Mario.
Yeah.
I bought this. We were in Walmart. I was like, oh, they have those in stock again. Bought it because I knew with Odyssey coming out after the Zelda fiasco that this guy's probably going to unlock something sweet. And now I didn't need to waste the money. Wah, wah, wah.
I think it's a waste of money. Yeah, I don't know.
This is the second one I own. So,
well, that's a tough choice. Tough choice to make.
So I just want to be justified in my anger for being the 1%.
Yeah. I can't really help you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. Should we get to our retro question and then wrap this thing up? I thought we were going to be cutting this one short, and then look what happened.
Yeah, that was the intent, but nope. You
got to get to your birthday.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. Let's retro it up. So I'll ask, and you can lead with the question.
Okay.
So now, both of us having played the Mario demo, what demo stands out as the most influential in-store game demo from your youth? Back when you had to go to stores to play a demo of a game before it comes out.
So I thought you put this down yesterday, and I was like, this is a really good question. Real talk. I rarely got to play demos. One, my parents were usually in a pretty big hurry. And two, other parents always used them to babysit their kids.
Yeah.
So, but one of the ones that honestly, nothing like really comes to my mind that was like, oh, I've got to play this, other than something kind of recent, like on the 3DS, like trying like Happy Home Designer or something like that before it released. As far as demos, when I was a kid, like in the 80s, nothing really came to mind. Because like I said, I didn't get to play a lot of them because usually they were in a hurry and there was usually a line. So.
Okay. Well, then I'll just answer this question for both of us. So the first one, not a Nintendo game, but it stands out as a really influential moment in my life, was I went to Montgomery Ward as a kid and played the Altered Beast Sega Master System demo. And I was like, oh my God, because at that point we didn't have a regular NES, I don't believe yet. So I was like, games are way better than the Commodore 64. Like, what is this? That was such a huge step in the right direction.
The future.
It was the future. And then a little thing called 1996 happened, and Toys R Us got the Mario 64 demo. And maybe they had like Pilot Wings as a demo as well. It didn't matter. Putting my hands on that Mario 64 demo, that truly showed me the future of gaming. After that, I was like, every game I'm ever going to see from this moment on is 3D. Like, we're done with 2D games. We'll never see that again. Not quite true. But yeah, that was that Mario 64 demo, like trying to convince my parents to take me to Toys R Us as often as possible just to play the demo of the game, was my huge lasting memory. So you don't have any of those, huh? Nothing?
Honestly, when you brought this up, I felt more disappointment than anything else, because I remember running to a few demo stations like, sweet, and there being like two kids that just wouldn't budge, and they had no family around, and so they were like, like they wanted to fight or whatever, like, so I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just watch. And the other thing is I would go to the arcade a lot of times. It's not like where I grew up, there wasn't really a Toys R Us all that close, so I could probably count on one time how many times I've been to a Toys R Us. So, and the main place like my parents would go, like when they would take us like grocery shopping or whatever when I was little, was Fred Meyer. Well, mine never had any demo stations really. And my main thing going to Fred Meyer was like I knew I was going to get a new Ninja Turtles action figure. So that was like the highlight for me. So there really isn't any demos because like I said, all I've envisioned is me running to one and seeing kids there and just being like, man, it's always the same. And then I think I got to a point that I was like, I don't know. I mean, I definitely felt like a closet gamer back in the day. Like I didn't want anybody to know I played games. So if there's anybody around, I'm like, I'm not touching this demo station, by the time I like hit like 6th grade or something. So, that's probably why I wear nothing but Mario stuff now.
That makes sense. So Charlie Whiskey Foxtrot in the chat, he's a buddy of mine. He sent me something, he texted over to me, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to capture it, so I'll do my best. But this is him holding his stupid copy of the Nintendo Power Magazine first edition. So, I hate you, Charlie. I will have that copy from you. It will happen. You will cave.
Oh yes, it will be mine.
It will be mine. But no, that's awesome. That's cool that he has it. So, yeah, to wrap up, the Mario Odyssey kind of brought back a lot of the Mario 64 feelings for me. The wonder of playing this new experience. So I that's what made me bring that retro question out in the first place, because just the joy of playing a Mario for the first time and the exploration, and it just it'll be a lasting memory.
I will say this, as a kid, I hated getting my hands dirty whatsoever. And most of those times, those demo stations looked like the controllers had DNA all over them. So even as a kid, I'm like, I'm not touching that. Nope.
Not doing it. I hate that more as an adult now than I did as a kid. So I generally don't bother. But once I saw it, I was like, I gotta play Mario. Got to do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So.
For sure. Well, hey, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at HateZero with an X. You can find me on our Discord app. Come hang out. It's a good time. You can find me here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. pending no horrible issues.
Even on his birthday.
Even on my birthday.
But not when he goes on a cruise in a couple weeks.
No, I tried. He vetoed that. I was going to Skype in, but nope, not happening. But I do want to say, tune in next week.
Oh, no.
Tune in next week, and N64 Josh is going to serenade me again, awkwardly.
I just might do that one.
Yeah.
He finally,
I know.
He finally got one. Guys, you're going to find me on Twitter at N64Josh. You're going to find me on Twitch. .tv/N64Josh, where we do this show live 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time Tuesdays. Come hang out with us. I do stream every Monday and then periodically throughout the week, so just click those notifications. Hate's going to be streaming here soon. That's the plan anyway.
That is the plan.
Yeah,
I will be a real streamer.
A real streamer.
Real streamer.
You guys can find the show iTunes, Podbean, Google Play. It's on YouTube. You can watch it if you want after the fact. You'll be able to find the show notes and all the links to everything you need. thelootcave.com/NPC40. That's for this episode. Remember, if you want to get yourself a free audiobook from Audible, that's audibletrial.com/NPC. Remember, if you want to get yourself a gaming chair, affordable, comfortable, opseat.com. Use the coupon code N64Josh to save $10. I want to thank whoever gave us the most recent review. Got us up to 38 reviews. I appreciate that. I would love to see us get to 50 reviews before we hit episode 50. So we got 10 weeks. So if you guys haven't reviewed yet and you're enjoying this, and even if you're mad about our Amiibo conversation and where I stand,
yeah, hit us with that 5-star and then say whatever you want. Go ahead.
There you go. There you go. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and for being here with us live. We appreciate you. Alka-Seltzer, Charlie Whiskey, Kirby Geek, Destinaut. I want to see who else I'm missing here. Paliner. And whoever else is just lurking, guys, thank you so much. We know it's late, and we really appreciate it. So I do want to say, guys, I am putting out a video a day on my YouTube channel. I'm really trying to do that. I am going to start remodeling my kitchen this Thursday, so it's going to get a little tricky, but I'm going to keep at it. So I've been putting up a lot of videos, my full reviews of Stardew Valley, FIFA, Golf Story. They're all there right now. So for some reason, Stardew Valley has been it's been on fire for me. So that's been cool. So with that, we'll see you guys next week.
Good night, NPC fam.